Okay, hey class, how you doing? GD 1310, type and layout. How you guys doing? Welcome to the class and welcome to Typography. My name is Michael Maldonado. I will be your instructor for the next several weeks. So it's nice to meet you. A little bit about myself real quick, guys. I'm a pretty engaged instructor. I'm in every day. I use a lot of video feedback and I'm a nice guy too. So I really enjoy the learning process. I love teaching typography and I love teaching design. And you'll feel that and see that throughout the weeks as the class progresses. I'm very engaged, very enthusiastic about what I do. So I'm telling you this because don't ever hesitate to contact me for any reason whatsoever. As I said, I'm in every day. So I'm available via email, via instant message through the LMS, via phone call, via the questions Q&A discussion board within the class. And quite typically, you won't wait for a response from me. If you have a question and you present it in the LMS, you'll have a response typically within hours. You're never going to wait more than 24 hours ever. That's my promise. Speaking of promises, my student promise to you is this, guys: if you're working, I'm working. As I said, I'm pretty engaged. My student promise, as I said, is success in this class. Not only in your grade, but also in your ability to be able to apply what you've learned in this class moving forward in your design work. So don't ever hesitate to contact me, guys. It's not my style to make you feel like you're not getting it. I'm a pretty nurturing instructor, so this sounds corny, but my success is gauged by your success, and I truly do believe that. So, all right. So a little bit about the class itself. Every Sunday, so the class runs right Monday to Sunday. Monday being the first day of each new class. So Sunday night, by the time you get in Monday morning, by Sunday night, I usually will post the welcome announcement for the upcoming week, and that's really relevant, guys, because the announcement area is your lifeblood for the class. It really is. And let me show you an example. So this would be the welcome to week one announcement. So you have kind of an introduction. Where have we been? Where, excuse me, where we're at, where we've been, where we're going. So, and then I also include a lot of resources that will help you with the specific week tasks and assignments. So we can see this is an introduction to typography. It's a great site, introductory site. I actually post this in all my classes. So students just kind of get a quick reminder of how important typography is, and just this is a refresher. But I really want everyone to take a look at this. It's a great introduction to typography, and everything in this introduction here we will be studying in class. So there's a direct correlation and high degree of relevance between this site and what we study in the class. This is glossary of terms, and this is a source that's readily available online. However, the resource for it is typically quite difficult to find. Right down here is the resource, right in the corner here, but many sites have repurposed this particular infographic. So if you want to find this online, you can do one of two things. You can just right-click this and download it so you have it for yourself, or if you just Google search the ultimate typographic cheat sheet, this will come up and you can select one of the sources that has this particular infographic and download it for yourself. I recommend you keep it open. It's a pretty good little infographic. Okay, so during week one, we introduced the course projects. Well, I should say, during week one, we'll be introduced to the first course project. There are 3 course projects here, guys. All of you have to do with typography, and all are multi-page. Well, the second is a brochure, but it could be considered to be multi-page. The first is a magazine spread, so it's multi-page. The second one is the trifold brochure, and the third one is a saddle stitch booklet. So of course they're all multi-page. This means that you must be engaged with the textbook. And to see the textbook, let's jump over here to the announcements area. And if we jump over, and again, this is the announcements area. This is that really important area that we go to. Try to get in here at least the beginning of the week, and then try to check the announcements a little bit later on the week, because quite often I post supplemental announcements during the week. So here, welcome. Well, let's go back to the announcement. So here's administrative policy and services announcements. Guys, this has a lot to do with the REMCAD policy, important dates, important procedures, etc. So definitely go through these and make yourself familiar. Welcome to Type and Layout. That is the introduction to the class itself. And if you go through here, you can see a lot of things that are very pertinent. Keys to success, okay? General course expectations. And then we have office hours. The course syllabus and the course schedule are listed right here. I recommend printing out both or at least placing both on your workstation so they're readily available so you can refer to them literally on a daily basis. I would prefer, I print them out and just leave them somewhere over there. They're right there in front of me. We have this course schedule, same thing here. Then I have these important dates for the term. Here's the textbook right here, guys. Now, you're going to be very engaged with this textbook because our course projects have to do with multi-page layout in InDesign. So just about every setup in the class is covered in the book. So stay abreast with the course readings and you'll be just fine. Again, back to the announcement that we're looking at right now. This is it, the announcement this video will be in. But anyways, so here we have, this is welcome to week 1. So you can see, here's that slide I was talking about. Here's the infographic. But down here, there's these great tutorials. One is, and these are both directly correlated to the first project, how to set up a 2-page magazine spread and introduction to magazine layouts. It's important to note that when you open these, you'll see they're using a little bit of an older version of Adobe InDesign. And that's okay, because the technique's identical. Your interface might look a little bit different depending on what version of Adobe InDesign you are using. I'm presuming that almost everyone in this class will be using CC 2019. So as I said, the functions are identical. Everything that's set up is identical. There might be things located in different areas. Just make sure that you stay abreast with your book and you'll be able to find all of the functions and all of the associated tasks with these 2 tutorial videos. Okay, we talk about critique. Now, guys, listen, I'm really, really very, very serious about the critique process. I think critique is one of the most important. There's 2 things we're going to be studying in this class. Both of them are foundational cornerstones in all of graphic design. One is the critique process, and the other is typography itself. You're going to be hard pressed to find a designer who won't say this. And I truly believe it as well. As a professional designer, I think one of the most important, if not the most important thing in all of design is typography. The critique process is also critically important to the design process and will unfold reasons for that as the class progresses. During each week in critique, I give kind of a little mini series on the critique process so that you can not only cultivate your ability to create beautiful type in this class, but you can also cultivate your ability to provide good, engaged critique, which is really important. Guys, research shows time and again that designers that have developed a high degree of critical and analytical skills get promoted earlier and more often in their careers than their counterparts that don't possess those same skills. So it's true. It's very true. The critique process is of critical importance. Okay, then each week I also have learning outcomes. This is what you're going to take away each week. All right. Then I have tasks listed, and then I have the deliverables and due dates. So this is right from the course schedule that's located in the course resources area of the class. And I showed you that link before. This is relevant because everything in this, these are your due dates, guys. So if there's any contradicting due dates in the LMS itself, this is what you'll go by, this schedule right here. I do want to talk a little bit about due dates. I'm pretty, how do I say this? I think it's very important to follow due dates. Now, graphic design is it's a deadline-driven industry. So I think it's very, very important for us as student designers to mimic the deadline-driven nature of the industry by adhering very, very strictly to our course deadlines. So your deadlines are all listed right here. Please stay on top of this, guys. If you miss a deadline, you quite feasibly could miss getting that assignment submitted successfully. As we know, sometimes the LMS will close after the due date. So if that happens and you want to submit, just let me know. I'll open it for you. Things happen. I get that. I totally get that. The important thing here is that you stay in contact with me. If you miss a submission of an assignment or a project and we pass the due date, you may not be able to submit that. The LMS could close. If that happens and you want to submit the work, just, you gotta let me know, because I can go ahead and provide an extension for you, and we can really even talk about getting that work in expeditiously with the intent of reducing the amount of penalty points associated with late submissions, which I hate doing that, guys. And those of you who have had me before, I hate taking submissions off points for things like late. It's just so unnecessary. So let's really, as a team and as a group, let's really work on the importance of submitting work on time. Okay, so with that, let's jump through to week one. See what we got going. Getting started, of course, that's important. Read the syllabus, print it out, guys. References, schedules in there, print it out. Q&A discussion board. If you have any questions about the class, go to this Q&A discussion board. Now, look, you can email me, you can instant message me, you can message me through the class. Whatever way you get with me, I'm great with that. It's better than not getting with me, okay? So if whatever way you're comfortable getting with me, please do so. I recommend you use this area, and the reason being is because a lot of your classmates are going to have the same questions or very similar questions. So by using this as kind of a central location for our questions and answers, students can benefit from the exchange. So try to keep your questions in here, and you'll know you're in the right place, because when you open that little guy up, you'll see this little illustration of the happy professor there. So you'll know you're in the right place in that regard. Week one overview, really important. Week one discussion, of course, go through this, guys. It's important that you really get this. Discussion format has changed a little bit. It's a lot more robust than it used to be. So be sure that we start out on a strong foot by including all of the requirements in the discussion. Week one presentation, the anatomy of type, guys, don't skip this. It's really important. It has to do with, it will be directly relevant to the rest of week one tasks. And we have week one project part one. This is the introduction and what to do during part one. This is pretty self-explanatory. So if we just pop this open, we'll see here is the synopsis of the assignment itself. And we have part one, part two, and part three. So as we are going to be doing part one here, so right here is your deliverables for part one. Okay, guys, I think that's about all I have. Let's jump back there to, this is that presentation, Anatomy of Type, guys. It's fantastic. Don't skip that at all. Let me see where we're at here. I want to wrap things up here. I try not to go overboard on these videos, but sometimes in my attempt to be thorough, we end up going a little bit over 10 minutes. Discussion, presentation, project one, part one, critique. There's the critique board process. Please pay attention to due dates, etc. And then that should wrap it up for week one, guys. So again, welcome to the class. Questions, comments, concerns, clarifications, get with me immediately. You will have immediate answers, and I will see you guys in discussion board. Thank you very much.